up, everybody? Luke Sprywalker here. Thought I would start doing a few videos. My first video is going to be a little tour around my studio and a couple displays I have, and then we'll wrap it up with a tour of all the fodder I collect, buying from stores and buying from yard sales. Okay, here we are checking out one of my displays. This is, I just set this up after coming home from Celebration 6. This is some of my Jabba's Palace stuff, and you can't, it's got a huge reflection. Let me open these doors. And the top is some of the customs from Star Wars Apocalypse photo novel that myself and Kessel Run Imports and Hangar Bay 94 did. Got some scrapers and their mech suit, and well, a few figures for a hopefully upcoming chapter. More Ace Asmeen, a little skiff. Some of my Mandalorians and speeder bikes, and a few Hasbro figures in there. And down bottom we have the Jabba's Palace set up. I really don't have room to have my Jabba's Palace put together at all times. Hopefully I'll get to work on a bigger area to display my stuff this winter. More on that to come. Pan out so you can see a whole cabinet. Okay, under my vehicle shelf I have my Rebel display. This is like a Rebel base, just a generic Rebel base I made for another customizing contest, just made out of packaging styrofoam and sheet styrofoam cut in for the second layer, for the second level. I don't have everything set up because I'm actually going to get ready and try to sell this background piece. I want to do something totally different. If anybody's interested, send me an email, send me a message, get in touch with me on Facebook or the shipyards. I want to do more of a scratch build, more mechanical looking background for that. Big mother trucker I made a couple years ago, and then this is where it kind of gets messy. This is where my Jabba's Palace was, all my figures were set up, and it's just a barrage of things since getting home from C6. This was actually my youngest son Jackson's nursery, so that's why you see Curious George painted on the wall there. No time for repainting the room. I had to get shelves up. And I got that at C6, the Rebel Blockade Runner. I've wanted that forever. Some Predator stuff, and the Switchblade vehicle I made about a year ago. It's a little bit of a secret project, I guess. Maybe not so secret. You could have seen it on Imperial Shipyards. And these are some Death Star wall panels die cut. I'll be getting to work on a section of the Death Star real soon. Okay, and then there's cabinets under here, slam full of custom fodder. Got some tins holding things, and I just get the shoe boxes from Walmart or the Dollar Tree, wherever, and fill them up. Okay, this is the table I built to hold the palace, and then I kept like 8 years ago, and then I kept adding on, and I'd get an area done, I'd be like, oh well, I need this next section for it to be accurate. So the palace is actually about 8 inches or 10 inches bigger than this shelf here, longer. This has become an area for me to keep more fodder, more cool things I find, casting supplies. My Indy Raven Bar diorama is boxed up in there. And then underneath that is just box after box of fodder. And well, that's just the front of it. Just you can see how deep this thing is. It's about 2.5 feet deep. So there's tons of stuff. You gotta have plenty of junk when you're scratch building and doing vehicle mods and things like that. So you're seeing the front edge, and as you can see, my boxes have crept out wider than the plywood top. So I got about another 2 foot of boxes crammed full of stuff in there. Then coming down under my desk, I've made another shelf under here, and that's where I keep my Dremel, my drill, my charger, another little bin system labeled up. Mostly Marvel stuff in there. There's not a very big one. And some necessary tools of the trade. More bins. These usually hold custom figures that I don't have any room for. There's individual compartments for each figure. And we just get into more and more stuff. There's some light down here. A lot of these hold material for soft goods, Indiana Jones pieces for custom fodder, and just random junk. Okay, this is where it gets ugly. I'm working on cleaning out some bins and getting all my vehicle fodder set up. There's some Clone Wars stuff. Alright, this is where random fodder gets dropped when I grab it from the thrift store until I can box it up. And it's just been crazy for the last month, preparing for Celebration 6. So this is like 1 month's worth. Well, it's probably a little more than that. Probably 2 months worth of thrift store junk. Okay. And here's some more. I saw Budget Jedi, I believe it was, that was packing these battle packaging full of figures to hold all the figures. And I just thought it was a great idea. It kind of makes for a cool display at the same time. So I packed a few Hoth figures in there. And this is all G.I. Joe stuff. Got my vintage figures in my Vader case. Just more random fodder. And now getting into my closet, which is kind of crazy, but let's get a panned out shot. Alright, the closet. That bin is full of nothing but custom figure fodder. The bottom are some paper supplies, but to right there. Top rack. My bust ups are here. I'm probably going to box those up. I love the bust up Cantina figures. They're really well done. And this just bins, buckets full of random things I used to build with. Then, just because I run out of space, I bag things up and hang them on coat hangers. So here's all these kids' coat hangers with bags full of custom fodder, this and that. You really can't see that great, but just the entire closet's just packed full of stuff I've bought from Marshalls, and most of this stuff is thrift store type stuff and discount store type stuff. Most this side is pretty much G.I. Joes. There's a few Star Wars figures in here. And another shoebox full of G.I. Joes. This is a busted irrigation clock. I'm sure I'll make something out of, maybe another vehicle. Some Beanie Baby cases I got for $2. They're pretty cool. I used to display some figures. Somehow I missed this shelf. This is above my wife's desk and work area. I'm like running her out of the room pretty much at this point. But she likes Rocky and E.T., so she's got her that stuff. And this is a tank I built years ago. It took a spill off that shelf that fell in on me. A little diorama I made for Star Wars Apocalypse. It kind of warped with all the glue on it. I should have used a wood base. Dasher and Noah's Outrider, stock snowspeeder. And then we hang the slaves on the wall. This is more G.I. Joe type stuff, vehicle I did, the boat I did. And these cases are full of Joes and vehicle parts. And another fodder bin. The top one holds like animals and machinery, just random stuff. Again, almost everything in here is from a thrift store. I buy broken transformers, Zvox, Bionicles, all kinds of stuff for vehicle mods. Oh, protein drops. Nice. And this is just more thrift store vehicles. So full I can hardly open the thing. Okay, so here we are in my attic, and more bins full of carded figures and vehicles. Lighting may not be great, so I'm just kind of hitting it with a flashlight. This is another cabinet. I get all kinds of packaging and stuff over the years. Another cabinet full of stuff for customs. These are all carded Joes, carded Terminator figures, some Star Trek figures. ATAP, never opened. Want to do some custom work with some of those. And just some more junk, magazines. This is a Lay's potato chip bin from when episode 1 came out. I keep random episode 1 things on there. Boxes, boxes, boxes. Another cabinet in the attic full of Mighty Mugs and some micro machines. And I've got my Hun on Tauntaun in there. Another bin. This bin holds older stuff like carrying cases and old Jabba, some puzzle sets, and some art supplies. Here's the side of the potato chip container with more boxes behind it of boxed vehicles are in these boxes. And some of this is just packaging for some of the larger vehicles that I keep. My son's into Legos, so he makes me keep some of his bigger Lego boxes. And here's the gym, this little temple area. So one day when I'm back into Indiana Jones customs, I'll make something cool. Hopefully like around Christmas I'll get back onto that. And here's another boat, the one like I showed you in my office. This is the boat that I started with. I found this at the thrift store. Just had to grab it. Alright, and that concludes my fodder video. And hope you enjoyed it. Here is my docking bay 94 walls that I just retextured, and I've done some spray painting. So next I'll be doing some washes and some dry brushing on. I built them in 2 individual sections so they could be modular. You can set it up like this. Let's go over here. You can see a little more. It could be turned like this. It could be moved over here. Just all kinds of possibilities. Anytime you do something modular, keeps it fun, keeps the play value up.